The other thing that has been circling around the NFL circles and Belly Up, also Belly Up podcasts, the Coach Steve show with Zach Heilman, Coach Steve, Bears fans, diehard Bears fans. One of the things that has been circling around the NFL has been the rumors of our former coach,
Yeah.
Pete Carroll,
Yeah.
going to the Bears. And I'm not going to lie, I see John Fox when he was with the Bears for a couple of years.
Yeah.
This is, I don't think this is the worst possible situation you could do for the Bears. And is to go out and get, granted, a great coach in Carroll, but
Yeah.
at the same point, we are focusing here on a lot of what we've experienced of the downside of Carroll.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Carroll got us a Super Bowl. Yes, Pete Carroll has got us back-to-back Super Bowl appearances in our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
We can appreciate that as fans. We really can. However, 2015, 2016 going forward, it was a lot of frustration.
Yeah.
For Carroll. And for Bears fans, you're going to experience a lot of that, which with Carroll. Whether or not you want to deal with it is the question. Me personally, if I am a Bears fan, I want Mike Vrabel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's who I want. If I'm a
Vrabel
Bears fan.
deserves a job. I do
Correct.
think Pete. I do think Pete deserves a job if he wants it as well. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that I kind of agree with. And there's a Bears player. I forgot who it was. They mentioned it on the broadcast last night. But I can't remember who the Bears player was. But he basically came out, and I agree with what this guy said. So I can't take credit for this idea. This was not mine. But if you want to continue to develop Caleb Williams, you need an offensive specialist. You need someone who is offensively minded, who can work with a young quarterback. Now, no shade at Pete, but that is pretty much the complete opposite of what Pete will do. Pete is a defense-first guy. He wants to build a team around a defense, which the Bears already have some pieces in place.
They do have a good defense up in Chicago, but there are two options here you can go to if you're the Bears. One of them is, we mentioned, Mike Vrabel. The other one's Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury.
Cliff Kingsbury would be the obvious choice to me because he was Caleb Williams' offensive coordinator at USC for 2 years.
Yep.
It makes all the sense in the world. The problem here is if you're the fans of the Bears and they're devoted. Yeah. Chicago loves their teams.
Yep.
Loves them.
And you could argue that the Bears might be number one there. You know, a lot of people are going to talk about the Cubs and everything else and the Jordan era Bulls. The Bulls are a distant. I would put them. I would almost put them fourth behind the Blackhawks.
I put them fourth behind the Blackhawks too. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But the problem, Bears fans are very similar to Yankee fans in that regard. Is like, hey, we want to win.
Yeah,
we do. The Bears fans want to win. Do you want to deal with Cliff Kingsbury and his whatever the hell he does?
Yeah. The other name that's been floated out is Ben Johnson. But I don't know if you
see him leaving Detroit.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if you get him out of Detroit. Now, the culture around the Bears has been bad. There's no disputing that. Where Pete Carroll would really be able to help, at least for 2 to 3 years, because I don't think Pete's 72 years old. We can talk about his energy all that you want. He's apparently surfing a ton. Pete's always had he's always had a young mind. He would turn the culture around for the Bears. He would, as long as they bought into his rah-rah, endless energy, always compete mantra, he would turn the culture around. I have no doubt about that. But it's also, at 72 years old, how much control would Ryan Poles want to cede to Pete Carroll? Because he'd undoubtedly want some. He would want to build the roster the way that he did. So I think Pete's best bet, go and become a GM of a college team now, because you basically do need a GM with the way the transfer portal works and everything else.
Yep.
Pete, go back to college and
go to SC. Go back to USC.
Yeah, there's definitely a team that would want you on the sidelines. And also the window's shorter in college, and I think the younger guys are more susceptible to what he brings to the table. He would turn the culture around in Chicago, but to develop and mentor Caleb Williams, I really do agree with that Bears player that came out and said, "Hey, we need an offensive guy for this job," and I think that's the way that Chicago's probably thinking. They invested a lot in Caleb Williams. They should acknowledge that they screwed up Justin Fields, Justin
they're going to acknowledge the fact that they screwed up not only Justin Fields, but Mitch Trubisky as well. Kevin also pops in and says, I grew up in Indiana. Bears fans are serious. My brother's one of them.
Yeah.
They are very serious over in the Midwest area. You talk to any Bears fan that's over the age of 40, they can agree with you. But yeah, it's one of those things where you can go and say, Carroll wouldn't be the worst fit in the world. He'd probably be better as the team president of the Bears.
Yeah.
But the McCaskies are not going to give that up.
No.
Absolutely not. And I spoke to a few Bears fans, and they're pretty much waiting for Virginia McCaskey, who is George Halas's daughter, to basically kick the bucket.
Yeah.
For them to sell the team. And I do not blame them in a split second. Don't blame them.